Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday, March 24th. I'm Gary Ryan with your Fed League Flash. We're previewing all the weekend's games, and this is take two because I tried this before and really fouled up. All right. So, first matchup this weekend, Watertown traveling to Port Huron. Now, every game or every series this weekend is an interdivisional game. Wow, I need more coffee. All right, so you obviously can look at it and read it. You know, the records are up on the top with the points that they have. The little star means I think that Port Huron is going to sweep the weekend. That's just my prediction. Okay. Obviously, Watertown having a hard time getting the puck in the net, not doing a bad job defensively. But meanwhile, Port Huron is kind of an odd duck in that both goals scored per game and goals allowed per game are the same. Watertown obviously really struggling in the power play, only 14.7%, which is last in the league. Parker Moscal, fourth in scoring in the league with 69 points. Dalton J., an insane 5.76 shots per game that he's averaging. That is just ridiculous. Owen Liskowitz doing a good job. His goals against is right on par with the team average. And Wyatt Hoffman is one of, I believe, 4 goaltenders in the Fed that have 2 assists this year. These are the least 2 penalized teams in the Fed, so I don't think special teams are going to play a big part in this weekend, although, watch. Now there will be fights galore and whatnot. Okay, so that is that series. Next we have Mississippi. The Seawolves traveling to Danbury. Yep, I think Danbury is going to win both games. Two teams heading in opposite directions. Mississippi, after a pretty good stretch, has now lost their last 3, really hurting offensively. Danbury on a 10-game heater, and I don't see any reason why that is going to be discontinued, at least not for the immediate near future. Goals against on both teams. What an opposite end of the spectrum this is. 5.5 goals surrendered by the Seawolves per game. Meanwhile, Danbury is a paltry 2.8. Good goaltending will do that for you. Danbury really only has 4 true defensemen on their team, but obviously they're not struggling defensively. Power play, so-so for both. Mississippi, obviously, the better of the 2 teams. Yaroslav Yevdokimov is the only player on Mississippi that has a positive plus-minus. And, he's plus 19, obviously scoring 45 goals helps that. As you look at Daniel Mitrick, boy, I can't talk today. As you look at Daniel McKittrick's numbers, obviously plus minus doesn't tell the whole story. It's just kind of a number. It's just weird that McKittrick still has a negative in plus minus, despite obviously Danbury scoring a lot more than they're surrendering. So Anthony Delosio, obviously he's been a great find for Mississippi. In his short tenure there, he's got a 901 save percentage, which is great for a team that's surrendering 5.5 goals a game. Brian Wilson, of course, leading the league with 25 wins. And, if we had an all-star game in the Fed, obviously Brian Wilson would be the starting goalie. Head-to-head, both these teams met in early January, and Mississippi won both games. Now, this was about the only time this whole year that Danbury really had struggles. They went through one patch, I believe they were 5-5 in a 10-game stretch, and this was right in the middle of that time. Obviously, Danbury's been playing lights out almost all year. So we will see what happens here. Joe Pace not going to be participating this weekend as he serves a 4-game suspension for slashing incident last weekend. Next, we have the Columbus River Dragons traveling to Delaware. And you got first in division, you got last in the other division, and point differential of 78 points. 88 points, excuse me. Anyway, yeah, two teams heading in opposite directions. Columbus has expanded their lead by a bit over the Carolina Thunderbirds in the Continental Division, but remember, those two teams play each other 4 times the final 4 games of the year. Delaware just trying to reach the end of the season, hurting big time as far as defensively, surrendering 5.8 goals a game, and penalty kill. Here's some numbers for you: first overall and last overall between two teams. Now, here's where I think plus minus does kind of mean something. Columbus has 4 players with a plus 40 or better. That really testifies as to the strength of their system and how they work together as a cohesive unit. Delaware, one of the bright spots they have this year is they have 4 different players with shorthanded goal to their credit, so good for them. And head-to-head, they went 1-1-1. A couple of overtime games that sandwiched a blowout. You had an overtime win by Delaware. You had a 9-0 blowout, and then you had an overtime win by Columbus back in February. Delaware is officially eliminated from the playoff contention with a regulation loss or an Elmira regulation win. All right, this is what I feel is going to be the series of the weekend. The Binghamton Black Bears traveling to Motor City to take on the Rockers. And even though the records are not quite the same, these two teams are really pretty evenly matched. Obviously, Motor City has been doing better as of late in their last 10. Binghamton went through a tough time for a while, had some adversity, but they seem to have pulled themselves out. So now I gave both teams a star because, I think they're going to split the games. That's just my prediction. Power play, the top 2 teams in the league facing off against each other. And it's just some small notes that I put there. Tommy Cardinal, 20.9 shot percentage. You can imagine Coach Brown is going, Tommy, shoot the puck more. Shoot the puck more. But anyway, these two teams met in November and split a pair of games at Binghamton. And there's the big news. Tyler Jurich trying to become the all-time goal-scoring leader for the FPHL. He needs 3 more to pass Ahmed Mahfouz. It's just a matter of sooner rather than later as far as when that happened. All right, the final series of the weekend is not that one. I grabbed the wrong page. Cheesy. All right, Carolina traveling to Elmira, and Carolina probably looking at a sweep here. Just my prediction. And one of the big reasons is Carolina scoring more than 5 goals a game. Elmira is last in the league with a 2.8 per game. That really, really hurts. Obviously, you've got a really good penalty kill in Carolina, and Elmira's power play unit not doing so hot. So I really don't think that special teams is going to be much of an advantage to the Mammoth this weekend. Carolina, 7 players with at least 100 shots on goal. They just keep firing. And if you put a bead on one player, another one steps up. Dalton Anderson. Even though the Mammoth have just been going through a lot of turnover in their roster and a lot of constant change, Dalton Anderson has been quite a model of consistency. Leads a team with 40 games played out of a possible 45 because he was traded early in the year. He didn't start off in Elmira, so that's a good steady presence to have in your lineup. Anderson doesn't score a lot of points, but he does a lot of little things very well. Head to head, yeah, it was ugly down in Carolina back at the end of the December. 19-4 was the combined score of the two games. So Elmira, yeah, they're looking to clinch with either a regulation win or a Delaware loss. It's just a matter of time before one of those two things happen. I think the playoffs are going to be set as far as the participants by the end of the weekend. And there is one more game, the Sunday special. Delaware traveling to Danbury. Yeah, there's some really disparaging numbers there. Danbury obviously has won all 7 games before. They haven't played in this calendar year yet, but this is the 8th and final meeting of the year. There is a mathematical possibility of Danbury clinching first place in the Empire Division and top seed for the playoffs. If they win out this weekend, all 3 games, and Binghamton loses one of the 2 games in Motor City, then yeah, that will basically give Danbury first place guaranteed. Again, that's also a matter of time, but that's what we're looking at. Magic number is 10 for Danbury, so you get 9 points plus a loss. Even an overtime loss by Binghamton, and that clinches it. So there we go. Those are the matchups for this weekend, and I hope all of you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below what your picks are for the weekend. Hope you have a wonderful time watching hockey with your friends, your loved ones, going to the games. In the meantime, make sure to hit like and subscribe to continue to follow these videos. And remember, Wednesdays we do the audio Spotify version. I just don't have an ability to do a video on Wednesday thanks to my work schedule. So that being said, make sure to go to Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, download the app. It's free. It's free to use. And Wednesdays, you can check the Fed League Flash there. Hit the follow button. And here, you can find me at YouTube at FPHL Flash, and make sure to subscribe so you can continue to stay up to date with everything going on in the Fed. Thank you again so much for watching, for all your support, for your encouragement. I'm Gary Ryan here with you for the Fed League Flash, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.